Welcome to nascimentomktg's 32 Blitz, presented by Living Sport. Today it's York University versus the University of Waterloo. Before we get into our guests, let's just go over the rules quickly. It's going to be best of 3 series, 12-minute games. Winner advances to the second round. And teams are going to be selected via random. So decide between the first 2 randoms. And if they don't like either one, you can go for a third, but you get stuck with a third. So now let's go into today's guess.
3 series.
One of you guys has feedback. You guys can hear me now, so we're live. But does anyone have feedback?
I heard feedback. Yeah.
Jen, maybe it's your. You just put your YouTube on mute. You can still watch it because you're gonna be hearing it all, right?
Yeah, because I've been hearing that. I've been hearing like 2.
No problem. Yeah, there's just millions of dollars on the line. But, yeah.
No, not that big.
Yeah, not that big. It's not like it's my career or anything. No, but I'm just kidding. So here, up top, we have David from Waterloo. Below me, we have Andrea from York. And then at the very bottom, we have Jen, the Living Sport alum. Before we kind of go into everyone's background, let's just start with the randoms. I think David's on the right, correct?
Yeah, David's on the right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's just start with the first random. Let us know who you got. And then if you want, let us know who you get for the second, and then we'll see if you do a third.
Going Ducks. Blues. I think I'm sticking with the Blues.
Yeah.
Jen works with the Blues. Andrea, who do you have?
All right. So 1, Buffalo,
Ooh.
and 2, Minnesota. Definitely Minnesota.
You don't want to go for a sentence on the third? No?
No. I'm not taking my chances.
Okay.
Minnesota's a solid team. So when you have a solid selection, play your cards safe.
Sounds good. Are you guys, David?
It's a hard-working team.
Yeah.
Exactly, David. Exactly.
David, are you good? Because it shows you're still. You have St. Louis?
Oh, yeah. One sec. I got it ready up here.
Yeah, ready up.
Oh, we're at 4 minutes. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, good. Oh, that's where the settings are. We didn't press ready.
That's it, man.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Maybe for the next time.
Right.
Good? Once, okay, now that we're started, Dave, you want to go give a little background about yourself? Who you are, what you do, school, quarantine, etc. And then we kind of go to David, Andrea, and then Jen.
100%. Yeah. So, hey, guys. I'm obviously, my name's David. I'm in the Recreation and Sports Business program at University of Waterloo.
School,
I'm
quarantine,
currently in my
etc.
third year right now.
David, Andrea, and then Jen.
It's been a good time there. I've been fortunate enough to do a couple different co-op placements through the program within the sports industry. I grew up playing sports, so this is something I kind of wanted to incorporate. When I graduate, man, it's hard to multitask here.
This is
during
like an interview
right now. This is tough. You got to think twice here. So right now during quarantine, I'm currently doing an internship with the Canadian Olympic Committee, working with their partnerships department, which has been really interesting so far. I'm glad to, have something to keep me busy during these days. And then previously I was with MLSC in the fall. And then Chris, we were touching on it a little bit earlier. My first placement was with the Brampton Beast. I did some game operation stuff there in January of 2019. So just a little bit of background about me.
Yeah, that's all good stuff. Andrea, do you want to share now?
Hey guys. I don't know if you can. How's my face? Is it okay?
yeah, it's good.
Okay, I don't know because I'm looking at the screen while. Yeah, so I'm Andrea. I'm a current BCom student at York University who has a high interest in sport. Maybe I use my business degree one day to immerse myself in the business landscape of sport because I'm an active sports person. I play every sport that you can think of. I'm well-rounded that way. I watch tons of sports, and I'm really interested in hold on, let me shoot this. Oh, that's a huge hit. Yeah, so I'm thankful for this opportunity to participate in this more than gaming event. I think this is great work from Christopher and everyone else who's made this happen. I think this is a good platform for networking. Let's go, 1-0. That's my soccer background right there.
Yeah.
You got lucky there.
Chill
Yeah. I play mostly FIFA and a little bit of NHL. That's it. I freaking because of this COVID, haven't really done any summer school. Was planning on doing summer school, but didn't really do that. So at the moment, the past few months, I've been working at a grocery store actually full time. So, and you guys know, if you've been following this pandemic, grocery stores have been like one of the busiest places in the world because they're essential, right?
They're frontline worker, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there full time, and in the fall, I'm gonna go start up at York again.
Good stuff. Jen, do you want to give a little background?
Yeah, so my name is Jen Wonder. I'm with the presenting sponsor, Living Sport. I'm an alumni of Living Sport Hamburg 2019. So the business program, we went over to Hamburg, Germany, and we learned about like the German culture. I worked in an international event with Tough Mudder. And that, it was just a really fun experience. It was 10 days of a lot of work and a lot of learning and experience, and it was really fun. I currently am in grad school at SNHU, studying marketing, and I am also the director of promotions and fan engagement at the Gateway Grizzlies out here in St. Louis, which is an independent baseball team. Unfortunately, we are suspended for the season with COVID, but we've just been doing different projects and events. And I also work game days at the St. Louis Blues, so I really love watching this. I haven't really watched Chell before. Is that what you guys call it? Chell?
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. She's definitely cheering for David then. Okay, you're cheering for me?
You're a Sens fan, right? Andrea, you're a Sens fan, right?
No. I go to York University. I'm just north of Toronto. What do you think?
Yes. Yes, you cheer for a good team.
It's a no. I'm a Leafs fan.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up. I was trying to switch you up one last time, but sorry, Jen, continue.
Yeah, no, so I work game days with the Blues. I work full-time with the Gateway Grizzlies. I have been in working with sports since I was in high school, and I've just really loved working behind the scenes and putting on a good show. So I'm really excited to be here because I haven't really I know esports and e-tournaments have really come up a lot during the pandemic, and they've become more popular. So when I saw this opportunity with Living Sport, I thought it'd be really cool to be a part of it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks to all you guys for joining. I guess I should do a little background for whoever's new watching this. I'm Christopher Nascimento. Andrea, you can go by Chris. You don't need to say Christopher. I don't even call myself Christopher. But I actually just graduated with a marketing degree from the University of Ottawa. Born and raised Ottawa, except for the 1 year I lived in Boston. I'm currently working with the new soccer team in the CPL, Atletico Ottawa. So, a bunch of cool projects that we get to work on, promotions, marketing. Since all these operations kind of got suspended a bit, it's all hands on deck, which is just great for my experience. So, love that incredible experience. And then, as you see this is my personal brand, Nascimento Marketing, where I have a podcast, events, connect with people, whatever I can. It's basically just an online portfolio where I can, share all my work and interact with my network. So that's what this is, and I guess that's the end of the first. So we did a good job of giving ourselves a little background here, but
20 minutes down, yeah
20. Yeah, that was actually a real 20 minutes too. So we can talk about ourselves forever.
It's a tight game right now, Andrea.
But Dave, you got to step it up here.
Hey.
I needed to go 3 streams. I lose millions of dollars every time we don't play an extra game. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I play simple hockey here. Okay. So I gotta play my game right now. Just play dump and chase hockey and just good shots on net right now.
We both have been laying the body, I've noticed.
Yeah, I know. A couple hard hitting teams
coming out of the game, unfortunately, in real life, but I hope it comes back a little more.
Yeah.
To be honest, the physicality aspect of hockey.
I don't know about you guys, but I find when I play Chell, it's online too. It's just against someone else. It's almost impossible to skate. Someone's always that hitting. You're always getting hit. There's nothing you can do. You can't get around.
Honestly.
But Jen, do you play any Chell, FIFA, anything?
No.
That's okay. I only bought a PS4 again for this tournament, but it's good stuff.
Why do you own Xbox, Chris?
No. So this is actually my third PS4. Crazy enough. I had a PS4 earlier on, sold it focus on school. Last summer, I had an itch for PS4. Had it for 5 days. Made some money. Sold it. And then I got it again for this content. So, yeah, no, I'm a PS4 guy. I had a 360, though.
360s are wank.
Well, no. 360s were good. But, so I always get distracted when the stream's on because it always ends up getting a little tight. But, what was I going to say here?
Man,
Jen, you were saying you work with the Blues, right?
Yes.
Do you want to maybe dive into that a bit?
David has left the game.
That was brutal.
David. Jeez.
So, I've been with the St. Louis Blues since the 2017-2018 season. I do game days and I'm the mascot handler. So I walk around with Louie. I don't know if you guys know. It's a big blue bear.
Okay.
He's really awesome. I take photos for fans. Oh, there he was.
Oh, really?
There he
He was
is.
just on the screen.
I didn't see.
But yeah, so I do a lot of fan engagement and interaction. I also help with community events. He did a lot of stuff during the pandemic where he was driving around just to make appearances because we had to do social distance and such. But then I also worked with the street team, so I taught street hockey to local like elementary schools and middle schools.
Mm-hmm.
For a while. I went into and like taught gym classes, which was really fun. I really enjoyed it, like just that hands-on experience with fans and kids, and like growing kind of the sport of hockey in the St. Louis area.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed, just kind of like the community aspect and like hands-on. So it was really fun last season.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, you guys won a Stanley Cup. That must have been surreal to be a part of that.
yeah. It was crazy to think like when we were walking down Market Street, like because that's where the Cardinals always had their parades, and we finally got that Blues parade. So I was really excited to be a part of it, and just to like grow up with the St. Louis Blues, and then just kind of like that's what our fan base has been, is like just generations waiting for that Stanley Cup. So to be a part of the team when it happened was crazy.
So how did you just said you like grew up with the Blues, but then before the stream you said you're from the New England area. So like
Yeah.
how does that work?
So my childhood was in New England, and that's hard because I have family up in Boston.
You gotta hold the puck, David. Sorry to interrupt. You gotta hold the puck.
Man, yeah, Bennington's not doing his job here. Might have to pull him soon.
I got a quick funny story about Bennington from a buddy of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, my buddy met Jordan Bennington at a wedding. I don't know the connection, but freaking, it was in the washroom of all places, and he's like, "Hey, you're Jordan Bennington, and congrats on winning the Stanley Cup." He's like, "Yeah, man, thanks." That story, like, he met the winning goal. I was like, man, that's jokes.
Yeah, that's good.
Funny.
So Jen, what were you saying?
My family up in Boston, and then I live in St. Louis, so there were a few weeks we didn't talk for a while.
I bet. So did you move to St. Louis when you became like a teen?
Yes,
Okay.
Middle school. I moved to St. Louis for family reasons.
Okay, that makes sense. That's it's pretty interesting though, because you're touching on how you guys were kind of teaching street hockey, whereas I'm sure Dave and Andrea and even myself know this. In Canada, like you grow up just putting nets on the street or in the bike path or on your driveway, so it's pretty interesting to
on
hear.
my street all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
We did it lots.
Yeah.
That was my childhood right there. Like even just my dad
It's
used to
still
build
a
me like
growing
rink.
Yeah, Jen, do you think the Stanley Cup helped them out there? Like, do you see the game like growing firsthand in the city?
Yeah, I definitely think that it's brought a lot more attention to the sport. We also got a brand new practice facility for the St. Louis Blues, which is like an example of what the rest of the NHL teams are going to be building in their cities as well.
Okay.
And I think that because we don't have a lot of sheets of ice in our city, and that added 4 more. And so
really?
that
Wow.
brought the total to, I believe, like it's in the 20s. We don't have a
Wow.
lot. Yeah.
20, that's
And
crazy.
so that was something that it's like a lot of people brought attention to hockey because of the cup. Like of course, you know, those bandwagon fans come out of the woodwork, but there's a lot of true blue fans out here as well.
Wow, that's crazy that a huge market that has an NHL team only has like 20 sheets of ice. I'm in Gatineau, so not even Ottawa, so just across the river. And I think 2 minutes from my house, up there's 3 in one facility. There's 1 there, and then there's, I think, another 4 that were just built. And that's all within like 2-minute drive, which is just nuts to think of.
So it is definitely a growing sport, but it's been around for at least 52 years. That's when the Blues came around, but it's been around a little bit longer than that. It's just that now with everything going on, everyone's realized it's actually a really cool sport. And I've always known that, but
yeah, no, for sure. No, that's good stuff. That's cool to hear that's growing. It's always crazy to think of how, you know, one sport in one market's the biggest thing in the world, and then how, you know, soccer's so massive, you know, globally, but then in certain markets like you know, Canada being such a big country where our national team, you know, isn't as good as it should be, but it will. But yeah.
On the way up though, Chris.
So 100%. I agree with that.
Have you kept in touch with Alfonso Davies and his performances for Bayern? Like, hey, he's one of the best left backs in the world now.
Oh, he's sick, man. He's so fast.
Canada's gonna win the World Cup. I'm calling it now. I'm gonna put bets on it, but
you're gonna go Vegas with that?
Yeah.
How many years you give them?
Well, hopefully by because that's part of the reason why they built the CPL, right? Because I think it's half the team has to be Canadian, and I think maybe I don't know the rules completely off the top of my head, but I think 3 players have to be Canadian, and they have to be under the age of 20 or 18, and they need at least 1,000 minutes for the season. So it's pushing Canadian development. So
yeah, the league, I don't know the exact rules either, but the league's definitely it's a focus on homegrown talent.
So I think that's gonna be huge for Canadian soccer.
You see all the promotional videos. It's all about go try out for your local team. You know.
Well, I don't think there's tryouts. At least there isn't at Atletico. But
no, I'm talking about before the Canadian Premier League started. I remember promotion.
Yeah,
it's all about go try out, and you know, there's new soccer league coming, and there's these soccer teams that are going to be in your area. No, I remember it's a big thing. It's on TV, on ads when you drive around.
For the CPL?
Yeah, because like near my gym, there's a whole bunch of York 9 posters all the time saying buy your tickets.
Yeah. See, it sounds interesting that you're saying like the tryouts and stuff, because I know we had guys that were at the West Ham Academy for a number of years. We just actually got someone from the Whitecaps today on loan. He was the U17 captain of Canada like last year. So there's some like decently big guys too that have pretty big talent. We got some we got a player from the top league in Mexico. So some pretty big guys.
Chris, you were saying they're affiliated with Atletico Madrid. Does that kind of work like a farm system? Like, would you guys would you be a development system for them at all, or no?
Yeah, so Atletico de Madrid owns Atletico Ottawa. So, you know, my CEO, Fernando, he's full, like, attached to the team, completely Spanish, so are the coaching staff. And then, what is it? So, I wouldn't necessarily call it I wouldn't call it like a farm team, whereas you see in the NHL, and the AHL, it wouldn't be like that.
Right.
But they definitely use their resources at Atletico Madrid for scouting, to pick up Canadian talent. I know we have a couple Spanish guys on the team, and, who knows, maybe it is a way for, you get in the system and the eyes and kind of work your way up there. But I guess we have to see once games are played. But
I don't think it's going to be like that, but they're definitely going to be affiliated.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say it's a farm system, but then it's going to allow you to be on the radar of the bigger club.
Yeah, that's fair to say, definitely.
Yeah. So
no, I can definitely see some younger players from Spain coming to play here and getting some first team minutes, 100%.
Bro, for sure. Like even there's maybe, I don't know off the top of my head, but there might be like 2 or 3 players are with the Whitecaps in the near future where they're kind of, Whitecaps are a little crowded in certain positions, so they're kind of, moving to other teams in the CPL too, just to kind of get those developmental minutes as well. Because MLS just blew up. I remember like when I was younger, you heard of MLS, especially coming into Toronto. You're like, oh, okay, cool, like a North American Soccer League. And now they're like 30 teams, millions of dollars, huge players. It's crazy.
And it's nuts, yeah. Especially with all the guys coming over when they retire, like Ibrahimovic. Well, I know he went back, but like even Beckham, right? That was huge for the
Beckham was
league.
huge.
Beckham was huge, but Beckham was done when he came here, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Well, I think they're
Yeah.
slowly gonna have more and more guys, right? Because North America, especially the States, just has much more like marketing and branding opportunities for them.
Right.
Like you see guys like Nani. I think Ronaldo's coming here eventually, but he's probably gonna be he's not gonna be the same Ronaldo he was.
No, he's gonna be late 30s. He may be in 40s.
Minutes a game, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Rooney was here, Ibra was here.
Thing is, though, like MLS too, so you have all those like high level players from like Europe coming to North America, and then you have guys like Alfonso Davies that we touched on, were kind of like developed, and then they're going to Europe. So that's kind of cool for the league where you're seeing like major talent. It's almost like, not to touch on Canada so much to leave Jen out, but like their junior hockey where you can go watch like Connor McDavid when he was 15, 16. He kind of did the same with MLS.
Did. I went to watch a
Right.
Steelheads game, and I think he
me
was
too.
playing.
Yeah, I went to go see him against the 67s. Pats won the Super Bowl too that day, so good time. But
Man, they were good last year or the year before.
Who?
67s?
yeah, 60, this year
Okay,
too. This year too, they're gonna go on a run because they had Jack Quinn, Rossi, I think top 15, top 12 picks. So that's pretty huge. Jen, what's your sport other than hockey? Is it football, soccer, college sports? That's pretty big in the States.
The main one's hockey for me. I also keep up a bit with baseball and football, but it's mainly hockey.
Okay, cool. And then in terms of career path, you're saying that you're working with the Blues now, and then you're also working with the Grizzlies, the baseball team there.
Yes.
Where do you kind of see yourself? Like, which kind of department or field specifically do you see yourself working sports, like marketing, operations, etc.?
I definitely I love marketing, but I also have found that I really like the community engagement, kind of the way that a team will give back to the community that supports them. I really enjoy that part of it, kind of the philanthropy of the team, and especially like seeing how much different teams are doing for the community during the pandemic has been like really interesting, just in like different ways that they can impact the people and their fans, like the people around them and stuff. So that's something like down the road I really hope to get more into the community relations side of sports.
Yeah, for sure. No, that definitely sounds super interesting. And it is one of those aspects too where you kind of be kind of like you're saying, like giving back, where you can come up with all these different kind of creative ideas to really create that attachment with team and community. So that's definitely cool for sure. What about you guys? Is there a specific field or position in sports that you kind of want to get involved with?
Yeah, I can go first here. I'm still trying to keep my doors open and kind of test the waters with everything. Through my 3 internships so far, I've gotten to do quite a wide range of things, from sales, game operations as well, to partnerships work now, sort of that marketing side of things. So it's been kind of an eye opener, and trying to figure out, trying to navigate what I like to do and what I don't like to do. I'm still going to keep my doors open. I got a couple years left here. I think it'd be pretty interesting, to try to end up on, some team operations job if I can, kind of segue my way into there, whether that's scouting, agency work, or even some sort of management role. I think, that's kind of something I'd like to see myself in one day, even if it's an internship, just trying my hand at that. So that's sort of where it's sort of my goal right now, just to, try to end up in one of those roles, but we'll see how it all plays out. I'm just going to, obviously take my next year and a half before I graduate to kind of, try my hand at different things and see what I enjoy doing. And like I said, what I don't enjoy as well.
Yeah, for sure. Before we kind of get into Andrea here, you were touching on, scouting, maybe management. You said you listened to the episode of my podcast throughout with Fred LeMay of Belleville, right?
I did, yeah.
So that's see, now that I'm just thinking about it now, if that's what you want to do, he's probably a pretty good example, because he, traditionally in hockey, you need to be, an athlete or a player, some way involved in. Let's just watch the fight here first.
Man, that's not even realistic. Like Foligno would not take Franco down.
Hey, Felino's a tough guy in real life.
Felino's a tough guy.
6'5", but Felino's a tough guy.
Hey, funny story here.
Dialed in on Chris's question there.
Yeah, sorry about that. Funny story here about Foligno. It has to do with my sister. Not like that. But anyway,
That's Marcus though. That's not Nick though. That's Marcus Foligno.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
So a couple years ago, right, with the World Juniors, I think Canada was playing the States. They were down, and I made a bet. Maybe not a bet, but I told my sister, I'm like, hey, like, if whoever scores next for Canada, if they do score, move on, you have to call your first kid that. And I think I was like 13 when I told her this. And she agreed. And then Marcus, she hates the name Marcus. Marcus Foligno almost scored, so she was freaking out. But then, Quentin Howden ended up scoring. So she has to call her first child Quentin. But she's not opposed to it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, funny story. Anyways, David.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Back to what you were saying. Do you want me to repeat it?
What? Sorry?
David?
What's that? Sorry?
Do you want me to repeat it? Or you're kind of talking about how, you don't need to go the traditional route anymore of like being a player to get involved in hockey.
For sure, yeah. And there's it's sort of an interesting field to get into now. Like obviously, so I was listening to that podcast there, and he touched on sort of the whole data analytics side of things now. So obviously, there's a big focus on that. Especially, I find, so I'm a big baseball fan myself. That's kind of like the sport I grew up playing. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at like baseball internships, and like right off the bat, like I could recognize like I am not qualified for any of this stuff because they're hiring like straight up data scientists now. Like you don't even have to really, I'm sure you have to know the game, but there's more focus on, kind of making sense of the analytics and finding patterns and all that. And that's something I've never broke the goose egg. Yeah. So.
Oh, big goal! Finally.
Yeah, we're on the board. So that's something myself, like I've never really.
He's a former league. That's why
tried my hand at.
He's a former league. That's why.
Like I know for those roles. What's that?
Steen's a former league. That's the only reason why he scored a goal.
Man, Steen's awesome.
I remember him back playing with Sundin, that team. Holy.
That was a good team.
Leafs were never good, but continue.
Continue, David.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about how baseball is hiring more just like nerds, but it's like bluntly. You're right. I've heard that too, though. I've honestly heard that too.
Yeah, if we're speaking frankly here, basically.
Exactly.
So that's obviously, for myself, if I want to get into something like that, I kind of got to navigate and find a way that I can, find a role for myself, because obviously that's the way the sports are transitioning. Mm-hmm. I think, hockey's obviously seen a big transition towards that as well. I was reading the other day, like Chris Snow of the Calgary Flames, the assistant coach there. Like
reading, or
he was never a hockey.
Chiclets.
Yeah, spitting chiclets. Yeah.
Good one. Yeah. So I was reading. You
trying to cover it up. Yeah, I listened to I read an article. No, so I was listening to chiclets, and he basically said like he wasn't. He wasn't a hockey guy growing up. Like he never played the sport, but he always liked the sport and could analyze it pretty well. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. There's so many routes to take now, and like Fred was saying on your podcast, obviously he started off in, was it a sales internship with the Bulldogs, the AHL? Yeah. So and then he obviously segued his way into that with, I think he said he asked, if there's any way he could do like. Statistics works or anything.
Yeah,
like that,
so I think he was going to arenas and stuff, just scouting, and he was interacting with the scouts from there. But sorry, before I touch on that quickly, before you guys switch the logos. So I saw this the other day. Look at the Wild logo here. Okay, what do you guys see? It's gonna blow your mind.
What do we see in the Wild logo?
What do you see, Jen? Do you see anything? You see an animal.
It looks like a panther.
Oh, damn! It's a bear.
That's a bear?
Yeah, so they have this alternate logo. I don't think they ever used it, but that's a whole like bear. It's crazy, but yeah. So that's the head of the bear. I saw this like 2 days ago. And
I'm just wondering if they have an old jersey that maybe rings a bell.
Yeah, but here, let's do random again and go from there. But yeah, David, just kind of building on what you were saying here with, Fred's story, how, he was a sport management graduate, kind of similar to yourself. And then he, got into the sales role and then eventually, got into coaching and management. But if you want, I think it was yesterday night stream, I had someone who's he's a Living Sport alum, but he works for the Dodgers. So I can give you his name if you want to get in contact with him as well, maybe kind of pick his brain. And he's around our age as well, so that's pretty cool. But
I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. If let's just do the random here, and then once you guys do that, maybe Andrea, we can kind of get into what you want to get into.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, Dave, go first.
All right, going one. Oh, Caps. I can see the second, right? I can.
Yeah, you can do
You can see the second. Yeah.
Man, that's not even fair. I'll go the Caps.
Who's your second?
What was your second option?
It was the All-Star team.
Oh no, okay, go again. All-Star team, you get to go again.
All right.
Well, you did lose 7-1, so maybe it was fair. But,
Yeah, I got to go with the Caps.
No, but who was your second team?
You want to be an age? It was the Devils.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrea?
I'll go now. Okay, one. St. Louis Blues is my first one.
Okay.
That made Jen happy. And then the second one is the New York Islanders.
Since you got the Blues, go again so we don't have a repeat in teams if you were going to pick the Blues.
Oh, darn.
So I'm going to do one more time, then random.
Yeah.
Okay. And the next time, Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh, definitely the Lightning.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, David. I shouldn't have said anything. But...
Man, it's okay. Well,
I was actually going to be St. Louis, but you're right. You wanted like a different team.
Let's pick some interesting jerseys too, like old ones that are maybe some ugly stuff. Whatever.
With the black ones. Maybe,
the original Ovechkin one. I remember I saw Jagger. Man, that's probably how long ago? Maybe 15 years ago when he was playing. He played against the Senators. He was always doing the salute with the with the Caps. They were wearing those jerseys back then because you remember home was white jerseys.
I put on the vintage Tampa Bay Lightning jerseys.
I kind of like those. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, remember the Cavier and Richards and St. Louis.
Yeah. I remember when Le Cavier. There's a point.
Look, you see this?
No, we're looking at the corner.
Here's a dart.
No, we only see a corner.
Hold on. That's Brad Richards.
Okay, wait, lower it. We can't see it. I just see a corner.
Hold on. I thought this
Keep
worked.
your camera straight, man.
Yeah, keep your camera. We can't see anything.
God, it's Brad Richards signed in that jersey.
Is that a Ginla too?
Oh.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it. Is that a Ginla?
That's the same jersey.
Yeah, I like that jersey.
That's Richards and a Ginla.
All right. Is it Ginla?
Good players.
Yeah.
Nice memorabilia.
Yeah.
Chris, were you a big Alfie fan?
Huge Alfie fan. Funny enough, you guys maybe I don't know if you remember Danny Heatley. I hated Heatley.
1507.
1507, exactly. I hated Heatley.
Really?
I'm a huge Marian Jose fan when I was a kid. And they're in the trade, right? So I hated Heatley after that. And as soon as I was kind of coming around on Heatley, he asked for the trade. I'm like, I never liked this guy. So, funny story.
It's funny. I heard about that last week when they were talking about Hossa getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. They brought this exact same story up. And everyone was like, yeah, well, Danny Heatley scored, 50 goals. I think it was 3 seasons I think he scored, Chris?
No, one, right? 1507.
One? Yeah, well,
two.
He played fantastic.
Sorry, you cut out. David, you cut out.
I thought there was 1506 too. I might be mistaken.
Oh no. Here, let me pull that up quickly.
I remember hearing 2 straight.
With the Sens?
Yeah, it's 06, 07.
Yeah.
You pulled it up?
No, I just it's on the top of my head, man.
Okay, what were you saying, Andrea, though?
What was I saying?
1506.
Yeah, so the story in reference to Hossa, they were saying that, even though they probably got, in terms of a hockey deal, they probably got the better end of the trade, the Senators, no one wanted to see Hossa go.
No.
And even they were talking to fans when they...
There we go.
Oh, he scored. When they heard that Hossa got inducted into the Hall, they were like, we wish that guy would have stayed longer.
100%.
Definitely a fan favorite in the Ottawa and surrounding area.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go get a jersey customized. Like, I have a retro jersey from the Sens. I'm going to get it customized with Hossa on it. He's my favorite player.
That was Ovi too. Jeez.
Or David, nice. He's putting into 3. Not that I'm going against you, Andre. I just wanted to go 3. But here, let me pull up.
We got lots of hockey left tonight, boys.
Hossa, I'm pretty sure pulled 50 in Atlanta. Or came close. No, yeah, 53 and 57. Look what we missed out on. So Heatley got exactly 50, and then Hossa got 53 and 57. Man, that's tough to look at. But oh wait, never mind. I was looking at assists. That's my bad. I was looking at assists. That's a tough look. But
yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way. Like I love Hossa. There's no way he scored 57.
He scored 45 in Ottawa, and then he scored 43 once in Atlanta, and then 40 with Detroit. Anyways, though, there was one point when apparently he was about to come back to Ottawa when Atlanta was going to trade him to, I think it was Pittsburgh, or maybe it was when he was going. I think it was Pittsburgh. You know, he was on the cover of like the Hockey News, you know, in a Sens jersey, and I used to be a subscriber to the Hockey News when, you know, magazines were still a thing, and I was so excited. But anyways, dreams get crushed. But yeah, here, are you guys still playing? Because it's frozen.
Yeah,
we're still playing
2-0 here.
Sorry,
we're still
one
playing.
second.
There we go, 3-0.
Yeah, we're definitely playing. David's winning. We're definitely playing.
On the point. I got a PlayStation trophy out of that goal too.
Holy 3-0. I like the jerseys you put on your team, David. I like those jerseys, those retro ones. Those are nice.
Yeah, remember the Ovi goal in that jersey when he's on his back? And
I remember that vividly. Woo! Against their Phoenix. One of the greatest goals I've ever seen, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Sorry, I'm having.
Yeah, Chris, I was gonna say, like, I was at a Leafs game back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the Sundin and Alfie days, and somebody leveled Alfie. I think it was like Brian McCabe or something like that back in the day. And so this guy's just like out cold on the ice for like 5 minutes. And then they had to bring the stretcher out and pull him off, and the whole crowd just went nuts. Like, I think Leafs fans hated Alfie, and
you know why?
You guys hated Sundin, right?
Yeah, Sundin we didn't care as much, but do you know why they always booed Alfie in Toronto?
Well,
because one time, there's my dog. He's a feature on every podcast. Yeah, sorry, something's going on here with the computer. But what is it? I think one time Sedin, when he's with the Leafs, obviously, I forget what happened. Anyways, his stick broke and he ended up throwing in the crowd. He got a penalty. Okay.
I remember that, yeah.
And then the Sens were playing the Leafs one time. Alfredson broke his stick and he fake tossed it into the crowd, but then he just dropped down the ice and skated to the bench, and then ever since then they booed him. But also because he's probably amazing. He should be in the hall too, but that's too bad.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
This time
Those were the days.
Alfredson will get in the hall.
Yeah, I think he will too. Jen, what do you think about, maybe a little hockey talk here, but what do you think of, you know, the recent Hall of Fame inductees?
Only shot.
Sorry, that was on the spot.
I don't know if I've kept up with that recently.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So,
That's like really bad.
No, that's
She's
fine.
gonna say Jordan Bennington because they won a Stanley Cup. That's what she's gonna say.
No.
He should be in the hall next.
I'm curious how his career plays out.
Yeah, with him being a rookie last year, like I think we were all very excited because we didn't know what we were getting, and then it turned out to be the best thing.
It's funny. He was an older rookie. By rookie standards, he was older. He was in the AHL for a while, I heard.
Yeah.
He's in the AHL too.
He was in the coast, exactly.
Yeah.
Are you guys in a shootout? What's going on? My things went black for a second, and now it's a shootout.
Penalty shot.
Yeah, and we're in gameplay now, Chris.
What's going on? You guys are in gameplay?
Yeah, we're playing.
Okay, sorry. I think my internet's just... My computer
maybe that's why the dog's barking, making a storm.
The dog never barks. And then until someone, like, my mom's outside of the house or in front of the house, he, like, take me with you, so he starts going nuts. See, now he's going to go back to sleep. That's all he does.
Chris, where are you? Are you in Ottawa or are you in Montreal? Where are you?
I'm in Ottawa.
You're in Ottawa. Okay.
No, the capital. Probably one of the greatest cities in the world. Yeah. Home of the Ottawa Senators and Atletico Ottawa. Check them out on Instagram, Atleti Ottawa. But yeah, no, I'm in Ottawa. Are you guys both in Toronto and then Jen's in St. Louis?
I'm just in a suburb north of Toronto. Yeah.
You're in Toronto. If you're in the GTA, you're in Toronto. That's such a Toronto thing to do. No, I'm in Brampton or something. It's like, no, that's Toronto.
Chris, Andrea, what part of Toronto are you from?
Vaughan.
That's Toronto.
No, that's Vaughan. You know Vaughan's slogan's the city above Toronto?
No, that's not Toronto. That's not Toronto.
That's Toronto in my eyes.
They have their own mayor and everything.
It actually is.
That's not Toronto.
That's the slogan, the city above Toronto. When you go to Steeles, you go to the border, that's actually the slogan. Hey, we got Wonderland.
You guys have Vaughan Mills.
That's it, man.
Where are you in, David?
I'm pretty downtown here. Do you know the Annex area in Toronto?
Yeah. Give me some streets.
How about Casa Loma? You've seen Casa Loma?
Yes.
Castle?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, not too far from there.
Jen, you know where that is?
Yeah, I went to Toronto last year actually, for a holiday.
Oh, you came up here for a holiday. Wow.
See, I go to Toronto. I don't even know anything you're talking about. I go to Toronto. I go to the places I need to go and get out.
Yeah, no, I wanted to go to the Hall of Fame and see the Stanley Cup in March. And then little did I know it was going to follow me to St. Louis, but yeah, I really wanted to go to Wayne Gretzky's restaurant, and I also went to a Marlies game. Mm-hmm. Is it Marlies or Marlies?
Yeah, it is Carl Marlies. Yeah.
Yeah, the AHL. They took over the arena that the Leaves are normally in, and so the tickets were super cheap. So I got $60 tickets on the glass. So I was like, heck yeah, that's a deal.
Oh, they played at the ACC when you went.
Yeah.
Oh no way.
Oh, that's a special game. That's they do that once or twice a year. Yeah.
Who are they playing? Do you remember?
It was the it was the Senators AHL team.
Yeah. Usually it's the Senators and the Marlies. That happens here. They used to do it here.
Yes, one of the guys on that team, I believe his last name is Brown.
Logan Brown?
He's from St. Louis. So
Logan
I was
Brown.
Super excited. I didn't know who they were playing, but I was like, oh, this is so exciting. Seeing both teams and seeing Brown and stuff. So that was really cool experience. But I wanted to go up for a holiday, and then we just kind of explored Toronto. And that's the only time I've really been to Canada besides Niagara Falls. But yeah, I really
Did you visit Wonderland? Did you visit Wonderland? I'm just wondering.
No, what is Wonderland?
The big amusement park just north of Toronto.
City above Toronto, no? No.
Yeah, north of Toronto. Yeah.
I'll have to look into that because my last name is Wonder, so
yeah,
really cool.
No, a lot of people they come to Toronto and they have some time. They definitely go visit the park. It's huge.
Yeah.
And what's funny
you're just trying to bring tourists into Vaughan.
Yeah, he doesn't even want to work in sports. He just wants to bring people to Vaughan.
Economy's down. This guy's just No wonder
you know what's funny? Wonderland's legit a 10-minute walk from my house. I haven't been 3-4 years, so.
Okay, but
No joke. No joke.
But Jen, something you said. Oh, Logan Brown, his dad Jeff Brown played with the Blues, and he was actually the coach for the 67s a couple years back.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I used to work at the football stadium here, which is also the hockey arena.
Yeah.
So I'd see Jeff Brown, I'd see Logan Brown around too because they'd be training. But yeah.
Yeah, so some of my buddies actually grew up playing hockey with Brown, so that's why when I was there, they were like, "Oh my God, we know him. We played hockey," and I was like, "Wow, I had no idea."
So they know Brady Tkachuk too, then, because I think Brady Tkachuk played with them.
Yeah. All the Tkachuk kids, that I love that family. They are super sweet.
So you met all the Tkachuks or no?
Not all of them, but. I've seen the boys and their mom, when they're in town.
So you've met Brady and Matt?
Not personally met them, but
you made it sound like you met them. Sorry.
No.
I mean, like that's pretty cool.
Like
So-
I know they're like I've met their mom, but I haven't like.
That's
Again,
cool.
I'm just like a face in the
Close
crowd
enough.
when it comes to these people.
of course.
That's
Is she a
cool.
nice person?
Yes. Everyone from St. Louis is nice.
Really? Hey, is it not to like kind of put it on the spot or anything? I heard St. Louis is dangerous.
Yeah.
It is? Like
Really?
properly dangerous?
So it depends on where you're at in St. Louis. But it's like I want to say it was like rated 9th in the nation. It was like the most dangerous place. But I live more west of the city. So I like live outside of the city. I just work down there.
And why is that? Did they say why, or do you remember why? Like a lot of gangs. Like, what are the reasons for it? Because you would poll people randomly, they wouldn't think St. Louis is a city that's known for that. I would say it's not the biggest of cities in America, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I think one of the issues that like kind of brought it to the surface was Ferguson a couple years back. That's like what a lot of people knew Missouri for, because Ferguson is right outside of St. Louis as well.
Okay.
And just kind of like the racial issues that have kind of come up.
yeah, that makes sense.
So I think that's why with St. Louis, but it's just kind of like, again, it's like being safe and like being in the right place at the like not going to the dark side of the city. So
there's like certain spots in the city where you like don't go?
yeah.
Oh, wow. I think Toronto, I know Ottawa's not like that. Toronto doesn't really have spots like that, eh?
Oh, we got spots, man. We're a
You know
big
what?
city
Everyone
here.
says Jane and Finch, or around that area. Like, honestly, man, if you're anywhere in the wrong place, the wrong time, around a certain crowd that's maybe up to mischief, then you should just get away from that crowd. Like, they're anywhere. Like, I'm sorry, like people that say, oh, there's certain areas in every municipality that are safe. That's a bunch of bull, in my opinion. You gotta watch what you're doing. Shit, how did I not score that?
Wise
What
words.
period are you guys in? I'm delayed here.
We're second period.
Oh, it's
14 minutes
4-2.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're making a comeback, man. We're gonna have a game 3. Cross our fingers.
Don't
Don't jinx it.
don't
Yeah.
jinx yourself here.
I think you just jinxed it.
Hey, Andre, we never even got to touch on where you wanted to work or what kind of things you wanted to do in sports.
Yeah, so I'm a current BCom student, so I want to get my degree. I'm either going to specialize in, we almost scored in either accounting or marketing or something like that, So, and if I can, get some experience, that would be great. If I can find myself working in for a sports team, or, that would be great, fantastic. But, accounting, there's so many jobs just to begin with. So, if I can get into a certain, like, a business position with any organization, that would be great. And, I haven't really done anything like co-op internships, in my career, but that definitely interests me, for sure. Other than that, well, my graduation is probably going to be a bit delayed because of COVID and whatnot, but it's not a big deal. I tell everyone there's no rush, and finding what you want to do. As like David, I'm just trying to keep my doors open and experience new things. During this pandemic, I've been keeping myself busy, working a lot. When my buddy Sam told me about this opportunity, I was like, oh, this is cool. I get to talk to some people about sports. Like, I love sports. And,
So wait, who told you about this?
Remember, do you know Sam Azar?
Oh yeah. He was
Yes.
he was in the MLB stream.
Yeah, he told me about it.
He won, right? Yeah, he won.
I think he won, yeah.
I think he got blown out in the first game, and then he just put a doozy on the next guy.
He's a big baseball guy. I'd be surprised if he would have lost.
Well, he lost the first game, but then he knew what he was doing after that. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely cool stuff. Well, are you specializing in anything? 'Cause I got a BCom too, but we had to, specialize.
Yeah, right now my plan is to specialize in accounting.
Okay. I actually started university as a specialization in accounting, and I ended up working in accounting. And
Okay.
I got offered, so I was working, I was doing good. I got offered a job once I graduated in second year, and then I ended up quitting because I hated it. So
Was that like an accounting firm, or was it what was it with?
yeah, so Ottawa has a bunch of my parents are both accountants, so like I
Oh,
know.
the family. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and then I was working in payroll and things like that, and working on reconciliations, auditing, and that stuff. And I was good at it. I just hated it. Just being on the computer,
It's
working
a
on
little
Excel.
boring. I know.
Yeah, yeah. But I think I'm more outgoing and definitely wanted to work in sports. So I just kind of flipped a switch. I'm like, no, I'm doing sports marketing. That's the only thing I'm going to do. And
Yeah.
kind of dived into it. I think it's been going pretty good so far, considering it's been less than a year that I dived. Actually, you know what? In 11 days, it'll be exactly a year that I dived into sports marketing. So I went to my
So
first.
are you trying to get another set of credentials, like another degree or diploma, or you're just switching career paths with the degree that you have?
No, I have a marketing degree. I have honors in commerce, in marketing.
In marketing. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So no, I'm working in marketing. Just it's gonna be in sports. Like
Yeah.
I think I said this to Dave before the stream. I was always gonna get like a business degree and then kind of work in sports because I find it would allow me to get like allow me to be well rounded going to that. It's a business though, right? Even though it's sports and it's fun and fandom and you're so passionate about it. It is a business. There's a bottom line that needs to be taken care of. So that's why I wanted to get the business degree beforehand.
Yeah.
Chris, to flip the switch, sort of the question on you here.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like, so obviously you have a pretty good following on social media. Your stuff's great. You bring in great, guests on your podcast. Like, do you
Yeah,
have
your
sort of
guests
like
are incredible. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
I see the guests that you bring, and they're pretty good.
David, before you continue, Andrea, look at your shirt.
Yeah, the Raptors shirt.
Raptors. So Jack Armstrong, he's coming. He's on the podcast. Already recorded with
Yeah, I
him.
think I remember
No
seeing
way.
that's coming.
So he
How the hell did
he
you get
actually
in?
answered the phone. I sent him a message, and like everything else, it's that easy. Just send everyone a message. Jen, I don't know if you know who he is, but he's the color commentator for the Raptors.
Oh wow.
Pretty well known here because Raptors are Canada's team. So
Get that garbage out of here.
Exactly.
It's just
He actually
yeah.
answers the phone. So that's one of his phrases, and then hello, like he says it pretty emphatically,
No
and that's
way.
how he actually answers the phone.
Did he answer the phone like that?
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. So that was really cool. Really nice.
How'd you get his phone number? How'd you get a hold of him?
How did I get a hold of him? I think I messaged him on LinkedIn. He's like, here's my personal email. He's like, yeah, I'm interested. Like he said, he's interested off LinkedIn. Send me a. What do you do? Here, dude, I'll just take you through the whole process because people ask me this a lot. And I'm sure anyone.
Yeah,
who
do
ends up
it.
watching
Do it.
Let's hear it.
So LinkedIn, we all have LinkedIn here, right? You're in sports, business, whatever. No matter who it is, whether it's a what is it called, the second connection or third connection, right? There's the different tiers where the first one you're actually connected, and the second one's mutual, and third you don't have anyone in common. No matter who it is, you can still send a request to get connected. We can also add in a note, and no matter who it is, I always add in a note, even though I already know them, just so there's already that foundation of a conversation. So they remember, if they scroll up, they're like, oh, I met Chris this day and we talked about this, blah, blah, blah. And sorry, 1 second. I'm just going to close the door.
Man, we got a tight game here, eh? 20 minutes left.
Yeah, man. This has been
I think
definitely
there's a
more
realtor
competitive
checking my
and tight
house, so
than
it's a little.
the first match that we played, David, for sure.
Oh, it's
I gotta play
4-3.
shutdown hockey here. Oh,
4-3, Chris. Yeah.
Okay, now we have a game here. Here, let me try telling my story quickly. So for the third period, we can talk about other things. But yeah, so I just sent a request with a note, and I'm like, hey, like, my name's Chris. I have for people for my podcast. I'm like, hey, like, I have a podcast where I talk about sports business and take people through the career route. So obviously it's personalized at the start because you have their name, so it's not some generic email. And then say, hey, like, it's about this. I would like you to join. Let me know if you're interested. To us, there's a pretty high percentage of people that say, like, hey, yeah, I think it's about 50%. And then, like, yesterday, I think I got 2 messages that I sent out, like, 3 months ago. So they eventually always get back to me. But, yeah, so I do that. They add me, send me a message back. And we set up a time to have them on the podcast. And we go from there. Actually, I haven't recorded in maybe 5 weeks because I kind of go in chunks and have like 10 or 15 still in the bank ready to release. So yeah, that's how I got him. But sorry, what was your initial question, David?
Must be. Yeah, I was gonna say it must be like a great time to do all these too, like because everybody's home right now. Guys like Jack Armstrong, they're not even working right now. So, man, good for you. I was just gonna ask. So obviously, you've established yourself pretty well. I was kind of curious, like if you have like an end all goal of like where you want to end up, or if you have a vision, kind of, where you want this podcast and the website to kind of bend off, in the future, if there's any, big picture goal you have.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Because I think oftentimes when people start podcasts, or if you hear a podcast, all their goal is to be like Joe Rogan. And
yeah,
I actually made a joke of that on my very first podcast. I'm like, hi, like, no, this isn't Joe Rogan. But I don't really have any, for the success of the podcast, I don't have any real specific expectations. My objective was to take my coffee chats to the next level. So basically just meeting industry professionals that don't live in Ottawa. And, I'm now able to meet people in the NFL, Australia, UK. I got the CMO of GoPro as well. And that was my main objective, make connections and get my name out there in the industry. And then the second one was basically to, someone like myself, when I was in second year, I didn't know how to get into sports. And there's a bunch of different paths or routes. They're out on all major platforms. Check it out. But yeah, and I just kind of wanted to basically target that audience of people that want to get in the sports industry but don't know how, because I knew that would have helped me a couple years ago. So I just kind of focused on that, and I think the podcast has been doing a pretty good job of, showing how you can get in the industry and the different ways you can do so. And then in terms of the website, it's just, I started off with a class project. You're just supposed to like make a website or a blog. Everyone did like food or something. I'm like, I'm going to do this for myself and use it afterwards. And there's a fight. Kovalchuk, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's your feet, Chris.
What?
The fight's over.
Yeah.
The fight's over.
Oh, my bad. That's delayed here. But yeah, that's about it for the pod. I get listened. Some like blow up more than others. It's obviously dependent on who shares it, but I have fairly good listening. But yeah, that's just the plan with it. And if I can make money off of it, cool, but that's not really the goal.
Oh, definitely. And that's good. Like you said, you're sort of using it, to your benefit, right? Like you not only get to record these and, get listeners who want to listen to these, but like you're using it for your benefit, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Gaining a lot of knowledge from these. What's been your biggest like podcast so far? Is there one that just like has a lot more listens than any other?
Yeah. So, funny that the first thing that you said there about like how it's good for me, I think I said that on the Living Sport podcast, that even if no one listens, obviously people do listen, it's almost like a cheat code for coffee chats, because now instead of like just rushing trying to like take down notes and like trying to remember things, I've had concussions issues, so I can't like remember things as clearly, but now I can just repeatedly just listen to them, maybe like before I like think of a project. Like I know the Toronto Wolfpack, that was episode 12, something like that, check it out. But there's some ideas that he said that I listened to back to it just to kind of refresh my memory, and then things I can apply to my current position. And then I'm just constantly doing that with the different episodes. But in terms of biggest episode, there was one that blew up that just got like one day. It was like the first week I got Apple Podcasts. It just skyrocketed. It was actually the director of business development with the Cavaliers. So that one,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that one was pretty big. Funny enough too, so I lived in Boston and I had a buddy that I went to school with in grade 7. He messaged me, he was like, hey, like I just listened to the podcast, I really liked it. I went to the University of Ohio University. The Buckeyes, whatever that one's called, because I know there's one.
Ohio State.
That's exactly it. So he's like, hey, like I have a buddy that works with the Cavs, so I'm gonna hit him up. He hit him up and he was like, already listened to it. So it was just crazy that, I made a podcast in Ottawa, and then my buddy from Boston and then his friend in Cleveland already heard it without ever knowing about me. But yeah, that was probably the biggest one so far. And second biggest is actually my own, where it's just about me, no interview. But Yeah. But yeah, I've been rambling right here. Let's talk about you guys a bit more. Jen,
Hey, you like to talk about yourself. That's why you're doing this
hey,
stuff.
that's why it's called Nascimentomktg's 32 Blitz. Hey, David was asking the questions. I was just answering them.
Yeah, we gotta hear Chris's side too, right?
Yeah.
No, like honestly, it's so cool that you're gonna talk with Jack Armstrong. Like that's honestly that's incredible because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, as a big Raptors fan, I would love to just talk to him, pick his
Yeah.
brain.
Well, clearly, Andre, I know you already listened to all my episodes, but you're just going to look forward for this one as well, right?
Sorry?
I know you're smiling. That's fine. Jen, sorry, I know I've been rambling on here, but sorry, I always get distracted by the screen. Is there anything?
Yeah, I was getting distracted. Sorry.
No, that's okay. David was asking some great. David, you take this over, man. You're coming up with all the great questions. What do you have for Jen?
Where are we? Yeah, Jen. So, I guess, do you have a goal for your career? Oh no, you asked that already, right, Chris?
Did I? I don't.
Yeah,
concussions. Sorry, I don't remember.
It's like going more into community relations side of sports and stuff. So.
But is there like a specific? Because I know some people where, there's specific leagues or teams they kind of want to get involved with, whether it's from their fandom or just a community they want to make a mark on. Is there something like that you want to get involved with?
I'm not sure if I understand the question,
Okay.
but.
So what I mean is, so obviously there's some people, maybe like Andrea, maybe their goal is to kind of get involved with a local team, like the Raptors, something like that. Is there a specific league or team that you kind of want to get involved with one day?
Okay. So now, I thought I understood, but then I was confused there. I really would like to work for the AHL. I don't know what it is about. So there's something about minor league teams that I really enjoy, the fact that they are minor league, and it's a lot about the community and the promotions and like what they can bring to their fans. And so that's where I've kind of like I love hockey and I would like to be in the AHL. The NHL has been really fun with the Blues. I still want to be with the Blues. I love them to death. It's just that I feel like there's so much work that can be done in the AHL as well, especially in the community impact side of it. And I really enjoy the different things that they do and the different stories to keep up with. So it would definitely be the AHL. Seeing that Washington, like Seattle, is expanding, I'm hoping the AHL will also be expanding.
Oh, for sure.
Because I know like when Vegas expanded in, like St. Louis shared our AHL team with them, and then Vegas decided to buy San Antonio this last season. So I just hope that we can get another AHL team for everyone to share.
What? How many AHL teams are 26-ish? Like they're almost one for each team.
There's 2 more this year.
Henderson and what else? But San Antonio's done, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, so San Antonio is moving to Henderson.
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, yeah.
Who are they? Who are they affiliated with?
Oh, sorry, I didn't
Palm
hear.
Springs.
Oh.
That's a good question.
Here, let me.
It's not Vegas, right?
Henderson's Vegas, and that was San Antonio. Here, let me Google that quickly. Palm. Sorry. About
How many AHL teams are there?
I think it's
right now?
26-ish, right? Anyone know?
I thought there was one for every team.
No. There's a few teams sharing.
It should be like that, but it's not.
It should be like
that's the goal. That's the goal soon.
Yeah.
Because if you had it like, I know this was a big thing in the basketball and with the D League, then it became the G League. Like, you had these teams, and they have a draft pick that they want to develop, but the affiliate has like 3 other teams that are sharing players, and so their guys may not get prioritized for minutes. So, like the Raptors had the Raptors 905. They won their championship, and that helped them win this championship, in my opinion. Frederick Fleet, Powell, Siakam. I think there's incredible value to be had in growing your players in your system with your management and your tactics and how you want to develop your players if they're all under your bubble. right?
No, I
Not
agree.
scared of the other team's bubble.
Before we continue with that, because that's a good conversation, you guys want to do your randoms again?
Yeah,
Just so we
let's
can
do
get the stream
Go.
going?
Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Well, to answer the question about AHL teams, I just looked at it. There's 31, so there should be one for every team. So I'm not sure who St. Louis is going to be, but Palm Springs is for Seattle.
Yep. It's the Springfield, Massachusetts one is the new St. Louis.
Wow, that's far.
Yeah, I also think it's funny just because it's close. It's not close to Boston, but it's like
Close enough.
close enough. And it's like, oops.
To be honest, Springfield. Sorry, before we get into that. So, do you guys have your teams?
I got Boston, so
Okay. Why?
you know what?
Okay, I'm gonna do it now.
I don't like-
Okay. New Jersey's
the
my
Bruins.
first one.
You don't like the
And
Bruins?
Florida's the second one.
Go for the third. Go for the third.
I'm going for the third just because none of us have done it yet.
David, who is your
Just
second
like-
team?
I have the
Anaheim Ducks.
Blackhawks.
Okay, I'm the Anaheim Ducks.
Okay.
At least they have a good goalie.
Yeah, I don't like the Bruins either. Unless the Bruins want to give me a job, hit me up. But Leafs and Bruins. I don't know why I hate the Leafs and the Bruins. Bruins are like my 30th team if I had to rank them. But then the Leafs are like my 33rd.
You mean 30? You mean 31st? You mean 31st because it's
No.
31 team.
Leafs are my 33rd team.
No.
That's how much
Not
I hate
even
the
on the-
Leafs.
Yeah.
They're not even on there. Those are good jerseys. Those are some of my favorite jerseys. But just going back to the AHL discussion, I don't remember New England as much as I should since I lived there for a year. But isn't Springfield, the team there, they're closer to the Bruins than Providence, no? Or is maybe just geographically it's different?
I'm gonna double check that because I think Springfield is closer, but I could be wrong. I'm not really good at geography.
Yeah, Rhode Island's not too far either, right? So
No. I know with the Sens too. The Sens used to be in upstate New York, their AHL team, Binghamton, but they moved to Belleville. And I think that's huge too, because just with all the young prospects they're having. I know even someone like myself, I was trying to get down there for the playoffs this year, but they got canceled. But I definitely think what Andrea was saying is definitely huge. Just having them close by, playing in your system, makes a huge difference.
definitely. Yeah, I worked for so when I was with MLSE last semester, I actually worked primarily with the Toronto Marlies sales team.
Oh, no way.
So
I interviewed with them
so-
2 months ago or 3 months ago.
oh really?
Yeah.
For what, like an account executive role?
Yeah,
or something
so-
like that? Yeah.
I was going to the interview. Literally the day COVID happened, where everything got shut down, was the day before. So as soon as I arrived in Toronto, I got an email right after lunch. Who is oh man, what's his name? Something with a Y. Was your boss someone's last name with a Y?
Paul Yeager.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my supervisor. He's a good guy, man.
That's who I was talking with. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're all good guys there.
So you're talking about your internship there.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, you said, Jenna, you specifically want to work in the AHL just because there's obviously good opportunity kind of to grow the game down there, and I think that's absolutely correct. Like when I was there, it was pretty interesting because it's quite a different crowd than you get at Toronto Maple Leafs games.
Mm-hmm.
I found that we had a lot of new immigrants coming and buying tickets just because they kind of want to learn the game and be ingrained in the Canadian culture, and that's kind of where it all starts for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense because they want to watch hockey. They don't know much about it, and it's more affordable to go to an AHL game.
For sure.
And it's more accessible. No, that makes a lot of sense.
No, it for sure does.
For sure, and it's just a tighter knit community you find at those kind of games because you have your loyal season ticket holders who've been there for 15, 20 years, and they're at every game. They're banging the drums and just they won't miss it for anything, and they won't sell their tickets either. So it was definitely a cool experience for sure working there.
Yeah, on top too, a market like Toronto for the Leafs isn't. This is what I've heard. I don't think I've ever been to a Leafs game unless I was super young. But it's all business meetings going on, right? It's all corporate seats. There's no real
You know what? There's a lot of that, but there's a lot of diehard fans, especially in the upper bowls.
Upper bowl,
Yeah, the lower bowl, it's I want to say at least 75% people in suits.
Yeah.
But
Jen's face. Their eyebrows.
I don't know how it
raised.
is in Missouri in the Blues games, but yeah, the Leafs are, even the Raptors, a lot of business.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's how they make their money, right? Like MLSC for the Leafs and the Raptors, like a lot of those suites are sold, for the whole season to corporate companies just for hosting and
yeah,
to host clients in and kind of close those business deals in. So there's definitely much different between the two and how they use or who they sell to and who uses their tickets.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Jen,
Well, because
yeah.
when I went up to Toronto last year, I wanted to go to the Leafs game that was going to be that night. But just like up in the rafters, the tickets were like $200, and I was like,
yeah, they're expensive.
So getting $60 to the Marlies game that afternoon to be on the glass, I'm like, that's a deal. Like that's not even that you don't have to ask me twice.
Who were the Leafs playing when you were trying to go watch the game, Jen? You remember their opponent? Because the opponent matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it was the Rangers, but I could be wrong.
Original 6.
Yeah, and I was thinking the original 6 because I did go to a Detroit game when they were in their old stadium.
Joe
2
Louis?
years ago. Yeah, Joe Louis. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was one of their last games, and it was against the Rangers. So it was like really cool to see 2 of the original 6 playing. But I was very like high up there.
Yeah. What's a ticket in St. Louis in the Upper Bowl cost? If you know off your top of the head.
Yeah, so because of the Stanley Cup, prices did change a little bit on tickets, but beforehand, like you could get tickets for like $26 to $45. And that was like in the Upper Bowl, and then in the Lower Bowl, you could get them for like $75 to $120. And now it's like
in the Lower Bowl?
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are American funds, though, Chris. Those are American funds.
No, I know, but still, like, so the Senators, I love the Senators, but they haven't done so well recently, especially everything with the owner. People aren't going to the games anymore.
Eugene Melnick, everyone loves him.
Yeah, he's a fan favorite. Eugene, if you're watching this, give me a job. No, I'm kidding. Love it at Athletic.
He's not gonna give you a job now.
I'm cool where I am now. But, yeah, so Sens, like, Upper Bowls, they have a hard time selling there because there's a bunch of seats. And, people are kind of not happy with the owner. But I think Upper Bowl is like 35 Canadian, which is fairly cheap. Like that's as low as you can go in like just a couple sections. But then I'm pretty sure the Lower Bowl is like $200 or $300 still. So yeah, pretty interesting how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
But in defense of the Sens, people were making fun of them for their attendance. Yes, they were probably one of the worst teams this year. But their attendance was still like 13,000, 14,000, which is still better than like a good Florida or Carolina.
You can't compare. Teams. There's a reason why there's always talks about the teams leaving those markets.
I know. But point is, like, there's some like those teams are good.
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying, Ottawa used to be like ranked 4th when I was a kid too in attendance, so I know it's there. They just need to.
I went to Florida last year, and I went to the mall that's across from the Panthers Stadium, and I'm like, this mall is huge. I'm like, there's definitely more people at this mall than at a Panthers game. Definitely in Sunrise, Florida, like nice mall too, honestly. But
I think eventually they're gonna move at least the Panthers to Quebec City. Tampa's gonna stay there because Tampa figured it out. But I think the Panthers.
Tampa has a good team. That's what it is.
No, well, the owner too. Like they were like redeveloped that whole area. I'm pretty sure. So I think, especially Quebec City is nuts. They already built like the full blown NHL stadium. They're ready to go, and they sell out like their junior games still sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. So they're ready to go. It's just
Quebec needs a team. I know it's about time.
Yeah, 100%. Especially with those jerseys. I don't know if you guys know this, but before they went to Colorado, they had a plan to. They're gonna keep the name, but they're gonna change the jerseys to like a wolf. Horrible jerseys. That would have been awful if they did that. But yeah, but I guess they left anyway. So what's worse? But yeah, what's the period are we in?
So we're just about to start the second period.
Okay. Jen, quick question about the AHL here. Would you ever? So you're talking about the AHL. You're interested in getting there because it's much more an engaged crowd. Would you ever look at going to Canada, like one of the AHL teams here?
Yeah, definitely. The only thing is like it would probably be a like certain
How did that go in?
just because with the French speaking part, I'm still not really keen on.
Well, that's not everywhere. Like that's
I
like
know.
Quebec.
That's only
I
one
don't speak
drop.
French. Yeah.
Yeah. So
How many AHL teams are even in Quebec? Are there any, or is there one?
Laval. But so the only place you need to know how to speak French in Canada is Quebec, and then like Ottawa is pretty bilingual too. So they want people to be
Montreal's bilingual too.
Yeah, but Montreal's like pretty heavy French. So basically, just don't go to Laval or Belleville. But even Belleville, the AHL team's pretty English.
Okay. Well, because so my baseball team or my baseball league that I'm part of currently, we actually just expanded and 2 of our teams are around Quebec. And so like now we're like an international league, which is really cool, but I'm like when we went to Germany last year, that was like one of the challenges that I had was the language barrier. So to be like submerged to work in an area where I wouldn't be able to really communicate with a lot of people would be very hard, but it's something that I'm willing to, like, I want to be able to learn French if I'm going to move up to Canada and be in like a bilingual part or even like a very strong part like Montreal. But
Montreal, I wouldn't recommend working in Montreal unless you really knew French, because then you'd like even maybe Ottawa, Gatineau. I know like sometimes with the Senators, you can like their translation. If it's not like spot on, you're in trouble. Funny enough, I'm the one like I write the translation for Atletico Ottawa, which I'm not super like my accounting job was in French, but I'm not like confident enough to work in it. But yeah, definitely interesting to know the different languages. But I think once you kind of get submerged into it and get in the hang of things, you do fine.
Yeah. Well, and that's something with the quarantine and like the pandemic and everything. I was like, oh, this is my time to learn French. Like I should do it now. I'm not gonna have time like this in the future, so I can sit down and actually like learn it and be able to talk in it, read in it, and all that.
Do you know French at all?
I took 2 years of it in high school. And I also like went to France a couple times, but like I just know like bonjour, like and even that's like horrible.
You're like bonjour, comment ça va?
Comment ça va? This guy's mixing Spanish in here. Oh, so when I lived in Boston, I took a French class. I'm like, I'm gonna take this. This is gonna be easy. I didn't realize how easy it was gonna be. So it was grade 7 French. I guess that's almost high school, but the French I was learning, not even lying. So I went to English school in Quebec, but maybe it's just we have harder level French in the English schools, but it was literally things I was learning in the 2nd grade in like elementary, like that type of French that we're learning in grade 7, where it's like colors, numbers, objects. We weren't even doing conjugation of verbs yet, which was crazy, but no, that's pretty cool. David or Andrea, do you guys speak any French, or is it just the bonjour?
No, I got my grade 9 credit. I took like applied like French in grade 9 too, which is like the lower level, like
the easier one.
Yeah,
I think academic. Oh, that's another good goal. But I don't know much French. Like I know a little bit, but
yeah, I got my basic credit or my needed credit, and I finished off with that.
Me too. I got the credit too.
Would you guys understand if someone spoke to you in French?
Depends how fast they spoke. French people speak fast. If they slow it down, maybe I can get a little bit out of it. But fast, it's a goner. It's a
Andrea, do you speak Italian?
You know what? A little bit. That's one thing I'm trying to like improve on. Because I like with a name like Andrea, like it's so Italian. Like I want to be able to speak like good Italian. But
David, do you speak Italian?
I don't know.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I speak Portuguese, but like
fluent Portuguese or just like
well, I can have a full like discussion. Like my grandma and grandpa, they don't speak any English, so I like my grandma. Like on the weekend, I saw her talking for 4 hours, and she completely understands me. But reading, I need to go really slow. Like I can read it and understand, but writing, no chance. No chance I would do writing in Portuguese.
That's a different game, man.
Writing's hard. No matter even I can't even write in English probably. But yeah. What Andre was thinking about Spanish was making me laugh because last week we had to film a promo, and one of the Spanish players were there because we have some Spanish guys, and I know I can understand Spanish, I can speak some, but they started going blah, 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 like whoa, I don't pick up on any of that. They're like blah, 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 blah.
I know,
whoa, whoa.
Especially when they're aren't South Americans and Latin America, they speak so quickly too.
No, so these guys are Spanish, so they have the
Are they?
Thing like Madrid.
Yeah.
That one's a little tougher. I find the one when you go down south, you kind of Mexico, wherever they speak. I find that one's maybe easier, maybe because I've heard that one more in my life. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a little slower.
Jen, do you know Spanish then, since you live in the States? Because that's a pretty big language for you guys. No Spanish. Zero como estás? No.
No. Gracias.
Gracias. Oh, that's good stuff. That's funny.
It's horrible. I just feel like I need to really expand that because I just feel like learning another language will help open doors to other communication once you're traveling or even doing business international. And that was something that I learned in Germany last year with Living Sport, is that there would be two people trying to talk to each other, and one person spoke German and English and the other person spoke French and English. So they were able to speak in English together. Mm-hmm. They knew multiple languages. So that's where I was like, wow, I should probably do that so I can communicate more with more people.
Yeah.
So I just feel like knowing only one language really keeps a lot of doors closed.
Yeah. See, I think in school there was obviously those international management programs, or I think that's what they're called. But anyways, you have these students and they have to take language courses, and then I find they take 2 or 3 language courses and they're all super confident to go work in whatever market now. Whereas maybe it's just something in my head where I've heard so many people speak a specific language that I don't think I'm at that level. So I don't even think I'm confident enough to go somewhere and speak that language. But maybe it's just something in the head. But yeah, are we going to the third period here?
Yeah, it's currently 4-2 for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Oh yeah, I wish they kept the name. Disney used to own them. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah. So they actually were talking about buying them back recently.
Really?
I read that somewhere.
Oh, God.
I hope so. Switch these black and whatever gold jerseys. I hate them. I never liked them.
I hate these Boston Bruins jerseys, but I love these Ducks jerseys.
Those Bruins ones, the old Bruins ones are nice. What do you guys think of the Bear one?
Yeah.
The third one that they had 06?
Oh, that's kind of looking back, it's cool. At the time, it's kind of what is that? But all those jerseys, even I find the Phoenix one.
Oh, I always love that jersey.
In the time, I was man, when I was young, I was what is that? But as they age, I find them to be nicer now.
Oh, for sure. What's another one? That's the old St. Louis one, the one with the red accent.
Yeah.
Those are nice jerseys. But no offense, the Winter Classic ones you guys have are awful.
There's been a lot of mixed reviews about those ones. And that was something when the Winter Classic came, I really did think they were going to go 90s. So the fact that they went back so much further, to our first jerseys, I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, it's the baby blue. I like the darker blue that the Blues have. Especially, I liked Al McInnes when I was a kid. And those jerseys that he wore were really nice as well. But what is it? The ones with the musical notes? Those are tough jerseys. That's a no-go. But, yeah, basically any Leafs jersey.
That makes sense, though. The Blues, Jazz.
But do you know which one I'm talking about?
They have to try that. They have to try that.
No, it's just the graphics. It's it just screams 90s, where it's just awful.
Wait, is it the one with the red stripes?
No, those are good ones. It's it basically has musical notes on the ribs, right?
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. It's at the same time the Ducks had the one with the Mighty Duck kind of reaching out. I don't know if you guys know that one.
Oh yeah.
No, so it's around the same time as that jersey.
You should pull up these pictures, Chris, when we're talking about these jerseys.
Here, let me see how I can do this. Let me figure this out.
Yeah, share the screen and we'll glance over because it doesn't ring a bell half these jerseys, even though I'm really interested to see.
Yeah, you said you were a sports fan at the start of this. I don't think so anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, tight game here, 5-4.
5-4. Plenty of time to go. Jen, who's your money on?
I have a bit of a delay right now, but I think my money's on. I want to say Boston, but then I
Comeback
also
hits.
don't.
Andrea, is your money on Boston?
I would be disowning myself.
Yeah, but if you're a gambling man, Boston's a team that would win you money, right? I think.
If they're facing the Leafs. Not if they're facing.
You guys suck against the Bruins.
I'm just wondering, how bad is your delay, guys, when you're watching the game? Like, how bad is it?
Probably like a few seconds.
Okay.
Here. I have the Blues one. Now I'm just trying to get there. Oh, that's actually nice with Solani. What do you guys think of? I don't know if you know. Maybe you guys won't know this either. Of the recent All-Star jersey for the NHL.
Not bad.
Yeah. There's one. I think it was. Wait. This year was it the one where it was like gray in the color?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like
This year,
those. It was
yeah.
the year before I liked. Here, sorry, I can't find it. Trumpet Blues. Oh, those are worse than I thought.
Oh, what are you talking about? The ones that like they originally designed?
I don't know if they ever played with them.
Yeah, like the one that I'm thinking of that I think you're talking about, I think was just like a drafted design, and they actually made a couple of them, and fans have worn them, but I've never seen the Blues wear them.
Oh, okay. Here.
And it looks like a roller jersey.
Yeah. Do you guys? I don't know what you guys are seeing right now. It's not pulled up on the.
I'm
on the
seeing
screen.
a 6-4 lead, and when they're through, you put your money on
6-4.
Boston. That's what
I didn't put my money. I didn't say anything yet. Do you guys see it?
I see that. Yeah.
Which jersey are you referring to for the Ducks?
This one right here.
Oh, I like that jersey.
Really? So what I'm saying is that came out at the same time as this one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So that the
I
Blues,
don't like the Blues jersey. Sorry.
Awful.
yeah, the Blues one never actually like was worn. That was just like a draft of what they thought. Like, oh, let's try to wear this in the '90s, and they didn't actually go with it. But they actually have made a couple, and I've seen fans wear them. They look like roller jerseys.
Yeah. Here, I don't think everyone on the stream saw, but you guys have Google if you're watching this. Yeah. So I'm just looking at these horrible jerseys now. I don't know if you know this one off the top of your head, but the Dallas Stars where they had like it was like a bull head and it was kind of the astrological sign. It's black.
Did you like any of the Atlanta Thrashers jerseys?
Yeah, the blue one that Hossa used to have, the baby blue.
I was gonna say that's a nice vintage.
That was a nice jersey. I wanted it when I was a kid because I was such a big Hossa fan.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Hossa too, and this reminded me when you guys were fighting with Kovalchuk earlier. Remember, like when
I know Kovalchuk's been in the league forever. I know.
Yeah. So I used to watch because you remember like games weren't always on like any platform or any channel. Even Sens games, living in Ottawa, they only had like 20 games a year, mostly on like CBC Hockey Night in Canada. But what was it? So I couldn't see Hossa anymore, so I'd always go on YouTube, and like YouTube was just starting, and you had like super like pixelated like Hossa like highlights.
Oh, yeah.
And you would see him like in Atlanta. But yeah, that's how I used to watch hockey. But,
Like highlights over some like Nickelback music or something like that.
Yeah.
Metallica.
Now I remember the old TSN, and like now it's totally revamped. I remember the old TSN and like how would you call it? Like how do you call it?
I know what you're talking about with the yellow.
Yeah, like TSN back in the day when you watch hockey, like they had like the scoreboard, and I liked it back in the day. And when you watch like during this pandemic, they destroy a lot of old hockey, or old sports, and I like the old how they used to do it. Freaking, there's a scoreboard and the display. It was pretty neat.
Yeah, I find I have a hard time whenever this. Oh, we have a
This could be
game.
We got
Minute 30.
Yeah.
Down a goal.
Wow.
I'm sweating.
Wait, are you down or are you tied now?
Yeah, that was a PK goal too.
Oh, yeah, I'm on a damn power play and you scored. Look at that.
Wait, well, is this a
Take
tie?
that corner.
I'm delayed. Is
No,
this
it's
tie?
6-5.
6-5.
Oh, okay.
right.
Minute 37 left, but I got half a minute of a power play. So
Andrea, what'd you say right before that goal?
what did I say? No, the way TSN used to broadcast their games, I liked it. Like the scoreboard and their animations, like those vintage ones. When you watch those, like sometimes they have these games on. Not recently, but maybe like a month or two ago, they have like the old stuff on. Like I like how the old hockey used to be. Even CBC, how they broadcast it now, it's just whatever.
Now it's like, well, Sportsnet owns it, right? So that's why it's so much different. But
Yeah, I don't even like Sportsnet.
hey, Jet, is it hard for you guys to pick up hockey games in the States? Because I know when I lived in Boston, you need like the NHL Network.
Do what? Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Watch hockey games in the States.
Yeah.
Is it hard to watch hockey games?
Yeah, so here in Canada, we have like 2 big sports platforms, which is called our media channels.
That's
TSN.
Game.
Wow. Oh, you never? Yeah, it's 8-5. TSN and Sportsnet, they each have 5 channels, so there's like always hockey on.
Okay.
Do you guys have an issue like finding like maybe not Blues games because you're in that market, but finding like other teams?
Yeah, it's definitely like me being in St. Louis. There's not necessarily just like I'm not gonna just sit there and see the San Jose game playing. Like it's they will like there's like the Wednesday night rivalry. There's Hockey Night in Canada.
You guys get that?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we get that like I don't know how to explain it because like my my parents don't necessarily have like sports packages, so it's like when I go out to like hang out with friends is when I get to see hockey. And it's normally like on the weekends. It'll be pretty easy to just see like any games, kind of like football. Like I might not necessarily be a Cowboys fan, but I'll see the Cowboys game on and it'll be live.
Okay.
So it just kind of depends on the day and who's playing. But yeah, it's not like if that makes any sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like it's gonna mainly be like if it's baseball season, we're gonna see the Cardinals game. If it's Blues hockey season, we're gonna see the Blues game. But we will also see like a couple other games here and there, depending on like Wednesday night rivalry, Monday night football, like that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like those specials.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I guess series is over. Andrea, you make it to the next round. David, at least you made it 3.
Good game, David.
Yeah.
That was an intense game. That was fun.
I let down not only myself, but the University of Waterloo. It's a tough bounce, but Chris, maybe I'll recruit a different guy to play in this tournament next time we host it. I don't know.
Yeah, next time I host it. This is a lot of work, especially working full time. But yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll have maybe this becomes like a whole, esports thing. We make millions of dollars each for appearing on this, which we already are, but no one knows about it.
Hey, but, let me know if you need a business partner, man. I'll be in.
Yeah, no, sounds good. Yeah, just bring the millions. But no, for sure. I'll hit you up if I ever do this again. But yeah, this was good stuff. I guess just to wrap the stream up as a whole, if you guys want to pitch maybe where people can find you or maybe what you're doing one last time, because just for anyone listening or whoever comes across this, because it's going to be on YouTube and Twitch forever now. But
viewers can find me in the next round if they want to see a guy representing York University.
I'm not even going to bother talking in this one, eh?
Yeah. Here, you want to go maybe David, Andrea, then Jen?
Yeah, for sure. So I don't have a big portfolio or anything like you do, Chris, but, I'm on LinkedIn, David Coyle Malachi, bit of a long one. And yeah, I'm honestly just keeping my doors open right now and open to, any good experiences that are out there during the next couple of years while I'm still in school. I'm in a co-op program, so, I still have a couple more co-op placements to fulfill. So, looking to expand my knowledge and just, trying out different things. And then, currently, like I said earlier, just working with the Canadian Olympic Committee on their partnerships team. So working there until the end of August, and then I'll be going back to school to finish my second half of third year. So yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Andrea?
Yeah, so I just started Twitch like recently. So you can find me on Twitch, Andrea Pirlo Gaming. I stream some NHL, some mostly FIFA because I'm a big FIFA guy, so I'll stream that. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Andrea Doria 99. Instagram, like I think it's the same tag, or maybe like a 1999 at the end. And you can find me in the next round of this Blitz. I don't know who I'm facing. I don't know what I'm playing, but you should definitely tune in because I'm an animated person when it comes to these video games. So a lot of fun watching me play video games on Nascimento Marketing's Blitz, more than gaming tournament.
Yeah, good stuff.
True salesman.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that.
I'll e-transfer you after this. Just good shout out. But yeah.
Sounds good. We'll talk about off stream.
Jen?
So yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn. I've actually been kind of like unplugging a bit from social media during the pandemic. So definitely look me up on LinkedIn, Jennifer Wunder, Wunder. And yeah, just send me a little note. Like Chris had said earlier, like definitely take advantage of LinkedIn. Like I absolutely love that that platform.
Mm-hmm.
I've met a lot of different people and talked to a lot of different people. So this is definitely the time to do it. And then also looking into Living Sport, that actually opened up a lot of different connections for me in the sports industry as well. So if you're interested, to definitely look up Living Sport, look at our different programs coming up. If you're interested in picking up some extra experience, and it's really a great organization. I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, for sure. That's some good stuff. I guess I might as well wrap it up with myself. So, Christopher Nascimento. This is my Nascimento Marketing's 32 Blitz presented by Living Sport. Just want to thank David from Waterloo, Andrea from York, and then Jen from Living Sport for coming on. I know, it's not always the easiest thing at the end of the day to come and do this, but I appreciate it. If you want to get in contact with me, you can see our names here on the bottom of the Zoom screen. Christopher Nascimento on LinkedIn. So just type that up and you'll be good to go. Or on top of the banner, you can see Nascimento Marketing just below the Bruins and Ducks logo. You can message me there. I'm unlike Jen. I've been on social media way more due to my personal brand and work. So I'm on there every day. But yeah, so I answer everyone's messages. And for you guys, if anyone wants to get in contact with them, you can't find them easily, just shoot me a message at Nascimento Marketing. I'll try to get you guys in contact the best way I can. And I think that's it. That's it for now, unless there's anything else you guys want to toss in.
How many live viewers did we get? What was the highest?
Today, right now?
Yeah.
Important questions.
At the start, we were in the teens. But
that's not bad.
it depends. So once it's not live anymore and gets uploaded on YouTube, I think there's one. I checked like a week and a half ago. It hit 80 something, I'm pretty sure, maybe 60 something. But it slowly gains views, and these are like the only videos I've put up on YouTube so far, so not bad.
You said it was live too, though. Like
this is live right now. Right now. Yeah.
No, it's live right now. How many people turned in live like the most? You said it's
I wasn't looking. I was focusing on this dialogue. I was really appreciating it.
Because on my Twitch, the highest I had was 3 people.
Oh yeah? No, we had more than 3. Right now we have
I just started
4.
with Twitch. That's why I didn't expect.
Actually, you know what? Let me pull up YouTube quick. You know what? It doesn't matter. Because my restream number seems to be much lower than the YouTube number, which shouldn't make sense. But anyways, thank you guys. Maybe just stay on the Zoom call so I can say one last thing. And yeah, that's it for tonight's stream. Stay tuned for tomorrow, because tomorrow will be... I don't know who tomorrow is, but I know it's an American matchup, and they will be playing... No idea. Madden or 2K. There's only 2 games left in the American
Tomorrow's July
bracket.
7th. Just say that. Just say tomorrow.
Is tomorrow July 7th already? Wow.
Yeah.
We're in June. But anyways, thank you for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Thanks, Chris.